I have spent a few days performing data analysis on supportability. This is part of a unique and valuation model that I'm developing. If you want to watch my first card valuation video for base stat and effects, click here. This video contains a lot of information. I will put a timestamp for each section so you can revisit later. I'm also splitting this topic into two videos, one for an overview and a breakdown of supportabilities for a single faction, and the second one will be for a detailed breakdown of each supportability. This is part one, and we will answer 3 questions. First, how many different supportabilities are in the core set and trial by first? Second question, how many cards family are in each supportability? For analysis purposes, we will only look at common if the common and the rare of the same card has the same supportability. Third question, what supportabilities are in each faction? In the second part of the video covering this topic, we will answer 5 questions for each supportability. Before we go to the analysis, we need to understand what is the supportability. If a card has supportability, on the card there is a box at the bottom of the card with an X icon. To trigger the supportability, the card must be in reserve. There are 3 ways a card can end up in reserve. Most commonly, by playing from hand to expedition in the afternoon and at rest, it goes to reserve. It can also go to reserve from the top of the deck by resupply and exhausted resupply. Lastly, it can go to reserve by hero or character abilities, such as Trist, Sabash, and Killen Elemental. It's important to look at the hand cost, as this gives us a good understanding of at what stage of the game can we reasonably access the supportability. To do the data analysis, I downloaded the Trial of Frost and Core Set Card Master JSON files, wrote a simple Python script to convert it to CSV, reduced it to one card family if both common and rare have the same supportability, and performed all data analysis in Excel. To answer the first question, we're going to create a pivot table, select the column, insert menu, pivot chart, select table, click OK. Click on supportability, and there we have the filter supportabilities. I've gone ahead and highlighted the supportability that was introduced in set 1 core in green, and the other 4 that I haven't highlighted are introduced in second set, trial by first. There are a total of 19 supportabilities across the board. 15 of them are from set 1, highlighted in green, and the other 4 are from set 2. There are something to notice about those supportabilities. There are some duplications, such as the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost, gains 2 boost. We'll say they are from the boost category. And there are cards, there are supportability that are like the next card you play this turn costs 1 less, the next character you play this turn cost 1 less, and there are next permanent you play this turn cost 1 less, as well as the next spell you play this turn cost 1 less. To find out which supportability has the highest number of card family belonging in it, we will drag supportability from the support table and to values. This will give us a count of how many matching results there were. Then we're going to go to more filter options, and then we're going to descending order by count of supportabilities. This will give us the order from top to bottom. As we can see, the highest number of cards that has the same supportability is target character with hand cost 3 or less gains anchored, and followed by the next card you play this turn cost 1 less. Now, we know that the next card you play has few streams, and they are the next permanent, next spell, and next character. So this category itself is the biggest if we count them as by categories, but otherwise the anchored one is the highest. Okay, now we're going to third questions. The third questions we will be looking at the support ability in each of the fractions. So to do that, we will create a new pivot table, select all fields, insert pivot chart, select all ranges, click OK. And on the support abilities, we will select we're going to select fraction, and we're going to drag the support ability to values. This will give us the total number. This will give us the number of all card family that has supportability in each individual fraction. In addition of knowing how many card that has supportability are in each fraction, we would like to know what supportability are in each fraction. And to do that, we will go back to the main data source. We'll select all, insert pivot chart, and we'll do the same. This time, we'll take fraction from the source, the fields, and then we will also take supportability, and then we'll drag supportability to the value section, and this will give us the count. We'll now start analysis based on alphabetic order. So we'll filter by axiom first, because that's the first character in the alphabet. And we'll go back to sheet 4 where we have the values. So axiom has total of 11 cards that has support abilities, and then we're going back to sheet 6. They are resupply, activate the ability of target permanent control, exhaust target character in reserve, target character lose fleeting, target character with hand cost 3 or less, gain anchored. The next card you play this turn costs less. The next permanent you control, you play this turn costs 1 less. There's 3 card family that actually has activated permanent control, and 2 that has next permanent you play this turn cost 1 less, and 2 next card you play cost 1 less. To put this in perspective, the axiom is known as the permanent region, like a permanent faction that has a lot of permanents. To me, this support ability makes sense because there's only 3 card family that has the activate permanent control. If in the case you get a unique that has that adds addition, to something to keep in mind, and also not to lose track of the discount. Discount can also be helpful. Now we're gonna move on to bravos. So filter and tick axiom, tick bravos. There we have total of 14 support abilities. They are exhaust resupply, target character loses fleeting, target character with hand cost 3 or less gain anchored, and 3 of them are actually gaining anchored. The next card you play this turn costs 1 less, the next character you play this turn costs 1 less, the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost, the next character you play this turn gains 2 boost, the next character you play this turn loses fleeting. Notice the anchored. Bravo, I don't know. Bravo has mana ramping, and how many cards in Bravo actually can cost 3 or less? To me, that's a little bit anti-theme in terms of design. I would say if you get a unique that has gain anchored for Bravo, it's probably not going to be good for you. Notice the 5 card family that has the next character you play this turn gains 1 less, and one of the card family actually has the next character you play this turn. I say it hints the Bravo business from boosting, and the cards are there to support it. One of the things I would like to highlight is notice the target character loses fleeting, whereas the next character you play this turn loses fleeting. The order does matter, because if you know your opponent is going to sabotage and you're going first, if you trigger the support ability, the next character you play this turn loses fleeting, then the next card you play from reserve is going to lose fleeting. Whereas if you're using the target character loses fleeting, then you have to play a card first on the board, and that gives chance for your opponent to sabotage. Moving on to the next faction, lyra. And take Bravo, take lyra. There are a total of 18 card families that has support abilities in lyra. After you exhaust resupply, create an ordis soldier token in target expedition. Exhaust the card, target card in reserve. Return other card from your reserve to hand. Target character with hand cost 3 or less gain anchored. The next card you play this turn costs 1 less. The next spell you play this turn costs 1 less. Let's talk a little bit about the next card you play this turn at 7, and the next spell you play this turn cost 1 less at 2. I did look up the highest costing card in the entire game is the Knight from Hand, Knight from Reserve. Mine the Apotheosis. And notice the Apotheosis base home lyra and has support ability to discount it by 1. And the outer faction one is in Bravo, and we know Bravo has mana ramping, so this design actually makes sense. Now let's move on to the next faction, Mona. Mona has 14 cards that has support abilities, and they only have 4 categories. The target character with hand cost 3 or less gain anchored. Target character you control with hand cost 4 or less gain sleep. The next card you play this turn cost 1 less. The next character you play this turn gains 1 boost. 8 card families, that's if you use them all, that's 24. More than a half of your deck has this support ability. And at second place, the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost. We know Teja has a boost. Boost is what keeps the anchored characters that gets more value for the next day. Alternatively, keeping the character on board, you can also let them sleep, and sleep is 4 less from hand. Now we're gonna move on to ordis. Ordis has 11 cards that has support ability, probably the lowest out of, it is the lowest out of all regions on par with axiom. They have activate the every ability of target permanent control, create all the soldier token, target position, draw a card, exhaust card, target carry control, gain sleep, next character you gain 1 boost, and next permanent play cost 1 less. I don't know about you, but I'm not convinced this activate the every ability of target permanent you control is serving ordis. Ordis doesn't have a lot of permanents, but most of them don't have really good everywhere abilities. Since there's only 11 cards in the family that has support ability, the support ability is not a big thing for ordis. Now moving on to the last faction, yzmir. Yzmir has 15 cards that has support abilities. After you create an ordis recruit, draw a card, exhaust target card in reserve, return other card from reserve to hand, target character with 3 gain less or less gain anchored. The next card you play this turn costs 1 less. The next spell you play this turn costs 1 less. The next spell you play this turn loses fleeting. Yzmir is known as the spellcaster faction. The next spell you play this turn costs 1 less. That's 4 card family has it. So that's a total of 12 cards. Plus the 1 card family that has the next card you play this turn cost 1 less, so that's total 15 cards if you want them all in your deck. Bring more options for your spell. But otherwise, I say it's the same as ordis. Not really much, nothing really stands out. And for the next part of the video, we will answer 5 questions for each of the support abilities. 1, which factions are the support abilities distributed in? How many cards are in the faction? What's the cost range for the support ability for both from hand? Which faction has the support ability best used? The best card and its use scenario for each of the support ability, all 19 of them. See you around. Bye now.